Happy Friday, everybody. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk.com. Welcome to the Road to Millions on Friday the 13th. I don't believe in that stuff. I believe in gambling gods, but I don't believe in Friday the 13th. There's a movie. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got a great show for everybody. 6 NFL best bets. We got your fade sleeper stat of the day. We got a great question from a viewer from Twitter that we're going to go over about pulling money out of your bankroll. And then Steve and I will go over our official survivor picks. So you guys always know we start with positive vibes from the audience. So go ahead and hit the like button, please. Helps our algorithm. Let's Wager Talk know we're doing a good job. And then in the comments section, post your wins. Steve, we could post our win last night, right? Let's take a look at some of these audience comments, but walk us through the Pacheco win, because this is a theme now. I think it is official on Thursday night. You have to look at the best, most obvious play and get rid of it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that goes for all the primetime games almost, the Sunday night, Monday nights as well. That obvious prop play that everyone seems to be gravitating towards is just it's the kiss of death right now. You know what I mean? So everyone's on Pacheco's rushing last night. He obviously fell short in that one. We were on his receiving. Nice cash right there. He had 5 for 27. We needed 13 and a half yards last night.
13, yeah.
Yeah, 12 and a half, 13 and a half yards. He got there early on, and then we just had to make sure that he didn't get a negative reception or something to take it back on us. But
yeah, when he was sitting at 14 yards, like you and I were saying, we're like, we've been stat corrected after the game. We've lost on negative plays we've lost rushing props on kneel downs at the end of the plays.
Yeah. It's to the point where we're looking to try to find the way that we can, how can this play not cash? Because we've experienced them all now over the past couple of years.
Yeah, so looks like everyone's doing pretty good. Yeah, the Pacheco touchdown. I mean, God, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hit last night. So shout out to everybody here. Drake asked Survivor, is there anything for the winner? Yes, there is. So the winner, the Survivor, gets the Road to Millions money trophy and a free copy of Solving the Price is Right from Justin, who joined us on the show in the interview. So whoever wins the Survivor pool, yeah. I got Prices Right on right now at the time of recording.
Nice. Yeah, I know you always watch it you watch it every day pretty much, right?
Pretty much. It's always on in the background.
On in the background.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody. Thank you, Jim. Show's getting better and better by the week. Thank you, Lawrence. You guys bring it every week. Thanks for your hard work. Tanya Thompson, more winners, boys. Let's go. And Rich Paul, yeah, as predicted, the AJ segment did not make me smarter. It was, in fact, the entertainment part of the content. This stems from where I was talking about like what I'm looking for when I look at content and what we should be, and it's like you either got to inform me or entertain me. Like hopefully both. It's hard to do it all at the same time, but if I'm watching your show, you better be doing one of the two. So that's what we try and do here. So, all right.
I haven't laughed that much in a while. That was really funny. It was really funny.
That was great. So, all right. So we got positive vibes from the audience. Now let's get into 6 of our NFL best bets. Again, these are not bets you go crazy on. You don't have to play all of them. You shouldn't be playing all of them. We do not recommend playing this many bets here. But let's go through these. Steve, the floor is yours. Just go ahead with your Bryce Young under, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it's his weekly play now. He keeps not exceeding this total. He's topped out at 30 yards. That was his max pass last week. So we'll take his under 30 and a half again. He just doesn't have the deep threats, it seems like, to get a long pass like this. It's a pretty deep pass, 31 yards, and he failed to get there even in spots where he should have against the Lions, against the Vikings, where they're playing from behind like you expect them to be playing this week against the Dolphins. You might say, oh, they're playing from behind against the Dolphins, so he's going to be throwing some deep ones, but he couldn't get there in the other situations. And the Dolphins, they've allowed – so I'll ask you this, Andy. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Russ Wilson all went over the longest pass.
Okay.
Daniel Jones and Mac Jones both went under.
Oh.
Which list do you think Bryce Young belongs on at this point?
It's really good. Yeah, absolutely. Under. It keeps hitting for you. My
We'll
worry,
keep taking this under.
yeah, keep taking it. The books are catching up though. They're lowering that. What was it, 33.5 last
Yeah,
week?
it was
So
33, it was 34 the week prior. So it's dipping, and he did hit 30 last week in that game, so he got close, but until he passes it, I'm taking the under.
just telling you, when that thing gets to 20, if it doesn't hit this week and that thing dips to 27.5, just fire on the over. It's
It might
gonna
be time. Yeah.
hit. So, I'm gonna take an under as well. Sam Howell. I am in love with this Atlanta pass defense and shutting number one receivers down. Terrell is just insane on the Falcons. So they only allow 190.8 yards per game. They held C.J. Stroud to 249 yards. That's the second lowest of the year for him. Trevor Lawrence threw for 207. That's his lowest. Jared Goff, 243. That's his third lowest. Jordan Love to 151. That's his lowest. And Bryce Young, 146. That's his lowest. That's a theme. That is like, okay, they shut down the quarterbacks. Sam Howell has three big games this year, Steve. 388 against Chicago. Their pass defense stinks. 290 against Philly. They give up a lot of passing yards. And 299 against Denver. They give up passing yards. But those are three bottom seven pass defenses. But the other two games, he only had 170 against Buffalo and 202 against Arizona. So he plays a really bad pass defense. He goes over. I think this is a bad game for him. I wouldn't be stunned if McLaurin comes in under, because if Terrell gets on McLaurin and Sam Howell can't find him, it's just going to be a long day. Love the unders in this game. So don't forget about, Atlanta's running game is not a great defense for Washington. So Atlanta maybe controls the time of possession, fewer pass attempts, but I like the under here. So Steve, you mentioned on Team Total Thursday your Eagles team total, and it makes your card for one of your best bets. Just go over it again, because I think you're on the right track here.
Yeah, the total just seems a little bit low. They've scored 23 or more in every game this season. Last week, they bottomed out at 23 after a cross-country flight to Los Angeles against the Rams. Now they have a short flight to New York. The Jets have banged up secondary. We know Reed has been out with a concussion. Now Sauce Gardner is banged up. He looks like he will play, but he's still banged up. Jets struggle against tight ends as well. And Goddard had his biggest game of the season last week. And as long as Zach Wilson's the quarterback, I think there's chances for defensive scores as well. If not, at least for the defense to put the offense in some great situations and some great field position. I feel like this one should be 24.5, so give me 3 touchdowns and a field goal and cash this one for me as well.
Love it. Go ahead and hit the like button, guys, if you're enjoying everything, and make sure you leave a comment. Tell us your wins. Give us something positive. If your road to millions is going to good, leave it in the comment section. Steve, go back to Ryan Tannehill. He did great last week. He torched his passing total, and it didn't go up. I get why it didn't go up, but I'm going to call fraudulent on Baltimore here. So they allow 175 average passing per game. Let's deep dive this just a little bit. They face C.J. Stroud in his first ever NFL game. So you're getting a rookie playing his first NFL game. Joe Burrow, week 2, bad calf, when he looked terrible. Gardner Minshew, rain game. Then they plays Cleveland. They don't face Deshaun Watson. They face Dorian Thompson. And that was when Deshaun Watson was out. And then Kenny Pickett. Not exactly a murderer's row of passing offenses. But here's the thing. This 209.5, Kenny Pickett, Joe Burrow on the bad calf, Gardner Minshew in the rain, and C.J. Stroud in his first ever game, they all went over this 209.5. Dorian Thompson threw for like 100 and some change. That's why this total, or this average, is 175. I like Ryan Tannehill. He went under against Cleveland and New Orleans. Those are elite pass defenses. Well over against the Chargers, against the Colts, against the Bengals. DeAndre Hopkins is healthy. I like Tyjae Spears, who is emerged as a really good option. My only worry is this is the London game and weird things happen, but I think this number is way too low. I think this Baltimore defense is getting credit for being an awesome pass defense when I think it's a little overrated. So I'll take Tannehill over his passing total. KJ Osborne, somebody's got to catch passes now that Justin Jefferson's not in there. Talk it out.
So we were on his under last week, 32.5, and he went over. We didn't expect Jefferson, obviously, to go down in the game, and that changed things drastically. He, like I said, he had 49 last game. That was his season high. 9 targets after Jefferson leaves the game, and that
Wow.
was like nearly double his season high. Like you said, someone has to catch the passes here. They still have Addison and Hawkinson, but now they're going to draw the top defenders, and I think the Osborne's going to be able to leak out and be open. The Bears defense you mentioned earlier, obviously horrific against the pass, the run, you name it. They're bad against the pass as well, and this just seems like a really low total for after last week. Jefferson goes out. Now he has the entire game with Jefferson out, and he had 49 with Jefferson going out in that game early. So give me his over this week after we lost on the under last week.
Yeah, I would also throw out the name for deep fantasy leagues, Brandon Powell. He's another guy, like when Jefferson went out, he had 4 catches for 43 yards. Like, he's going to be the slot receiver. There's a lot of moving pieces now in Minnesota. I mean, think how many targets are just gone with Justin
Yeah,
Jefferson. There's a
it's
lot of
amazing.
guys that are going to step in there. So let's look at KJ Osborne over. I'm going back to Puka Nacua over 67.5. The Cardinals secondary, third worst graded on PFF, and their pass rush is the sixth worst graded. They just gave up 35 points to San Francisco and 34 to Cincinnati. I love this stat. In 2 games, they let Jamar Chase and Christian McCaffrey put up 360 yards and 7 touchdowns. And like 71 was his lowest receiving total, even with Cooper Kupp back, 11 targets and 71 yards. I think this is a Matthew Stafford just airs it out to Kupp and to Nakua. They traded Van Jefferson, so there's another target that doesn't eat up a lot of production, but I think it's pretty clear this is an amazing 1-2 punch in the wide receiver. I mean, the Rams just, I don't want to say they stumbled into it, but they stumbled into a monster here. I think Kupp and Nakua both have really good yardages, but this number is like 20 yards less than Cooper Kupp, so I think there's just a little bit better value there. So, all right, best
Love
bets.
it.
Yeah, Steve's like Bryce Young under his longest pass. I like Howell under his passing. Steve's going with the Eagles team total over 23.5. If it creeps up over 24, Steve's a pass on that one, but just loves the number at 23.5. I'll take Tannehill over his passing. Steve likes KJ Osborne over his receiving, and Puka Nakua over 67.5 receiving. So, all right. What do we have up for today? Well, we're coming off of a really nice win. I believe that's what, a 4-0 Thursday night
Yep.
like
We've hit
streak.
our last 4, yeah.
Weird
Thursdays have
games.
been good to us.
Yeah, weird games. It's like eliminate the most popular pick and then look off the beaten path. So, love the momentum going into Sunday. NFL 5% best bet is up 4-1 this season. We finally dropped our first 5% of the season. Let's get back on the winning track. 25-10, an insane winning percentage on these. Love the plays. We had several that were nominees, but we settled on one. And if you want to check out free plays, one of the ones that we were talking about is up for a free play on WagerTalk. Also, college football best bet. It's only $9. 5-1 on those. We said one play. We just need one play in college
Yes, sir.
football, and but it's working. So we keep the percentage low, but it's only $9. Go grab that. Only if you're interested in plays that are on a 5-1 streak. Only. Okay. But if you guys just want the NFL plays, just wait till Sunday morning. Use the promo code AL10. Get you $10 off a one-day pass. I believe it's a little bit cheaper than just paying for the 5%. So that line looks like it's holding steady. I think it'll be fine by Sunday morning. So if you want to wait to get that, just use the promo code AL10. $10 off one-day pass. And, of course, Steve, Corbin, and myself will be here Sunday morning on the Road to Millions. All right, fade of the day. Let's talk Josh Jacobs, and you're going longest rush under. That's supposed to say 13.5. I'd never seen a 13.4.
I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
Basically,
pretty
right?
close. Pretty close. What do you not like about Josh Jacobs over this total?
So he's only had one run over this total all season, and it was last week for 24 yards. Prior to that, his long was 10. So he's had only 2 runs of 10 plus yards all season long. And he's really just struggled to get out of the gates. He's been contacted behind the line of scrimmage on 45% of his carries, which is the second highest rate in the league. And then you got the Patriots coming in. I know the defenses look really bad the past couple of weeks, but they're great in this situation. They have the lowest rate of holding a running back to when a running back has 3+ yards before contact, they have the lowest rate of that happening. It's at 9%. It's the lowest rate in the league. So I'm just looking at Jacobs. He hasn't been able to really get this done for the most part. Like I said, 24 last week against the Packers, but the Patriots are gonna hone in on him, and I think that he gets shut down again this week, and they keep him under this total of 13.5.
Love it. If you watch Josh Jacobs, this is not a surprise that he doesn't have very many long runs. I mean, he's just getting hit behind the line, right at the line. There is no room. That offensive line is pretty bad. So there's your fade of the day. We're looking at Josh Jacobs under his longest rushing total.
I'll throw in two in that game too. I almost used Garoppolo interception as the fade. It's only -105.
I know.
And again, I should just use that. They're both great plays, but -105 on Garoppolo pick. He's thrown one in every game. So look for him another one this week, and now he's up against his former mentor with Belichick. So I'm looking at him.
They're never like barely interceptions. It's like as soon as it leaves his hand, you're like, uh-oh. Like he's good for one or two of those a game.
What it was is the Patriots didn't have a ton of interceptions, so I couldn't make that case that they had, X amount of interceptions in X amount of games. So that's why I chose the Jacobs one. But yeah, -105 for Garoppolo. Until he doesn't throw a pick, I would play that as well. Look to potentially play that as well, I should say.
At this price, I think you're playing it every game. If he doesn't throw a pick, you're coming right back and playing him to throw another one. My sleeper of the day, Kyle Juszczyk over half a yard receiving. Let's go.
One catch.
That's all he needs, one catch. We need one play in college. All Kyle Juszczyk's need is one catch. So he was banged up, but he's come back, and he's gone over this total in the last two games. The Browns give up over 30 yards receiving per game to running backs. This game just has all the feel of, of course it's in Cleveland. It's going to be like windy, and it's just going to be kind of a nasty, kind of game. P.J. Walker's starting for the Browns. This Browns defense is incredible. We're going to get to that in the stat of the day. And, Kyle Shanahan is going to be creative. This Browns defense is going to be great. They're going to slow down. I would be stunned if this streak of scoring 30 or more points for San Francisco continues. So you get a game like this, I could see him absolutely using Kyle Juszczyk on a 3rd and 3 or one of these weird situations where all of a sudden there's Juszczyk wide open for a key first down. It's scary because he basically gets one target on a special play, but I think Shanahan loves using him in these special situations. This is an oldie but goodie. He's done this many times. So yeah, over half a receiving yard. Yeah, sleeper of the day, Kyle Juszczyk in that game. But I will say this. I almost went with a UFC play. There's an underdog. Their name's Arena Alexieva versus Melissa Dixon, and I was like, literally nobody knows who those people are. That is way too much of a sleeper. That is I actually had a great sleeper, and then I was like, that's nobody knows who you're talking about. So we mentioned the Browns defense. I talked this one out. Good Lord, look at these numbers.
Yeah, this Browns defense has been amazing. They currently rank number 1 against opponents in red zone attempts with 6. Third down conversion rate, 22.6%. Drives ending in a score, 17.6%. And my favorite of all of these, average drive time, 158. They lead the next team is 25 seconds behind them. This game sets up for just a defensive battle. These stats amaze me though. I especially that average drive time one, keeping opponents to under 2 minutes per drive. That's amazing.
That is pretty amazing. It's Did I see that with P.J. Walker starting, they now will have 5 different starting quarterbacks since Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, that's crazy.
This Deshaun Watson contract, it was bad in the moment, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It's I don't know, man. Wasn't Gardner Minshew available for them?
Yeah, it would have been a decent direction to look, right? And
look at the Colts. The line doesn't move. We have Anthony Richardson, and Gardner Minshew was available for everybody.
It's a good point.
At what, a tenth of the price of Deshaun Watson? So, but that defense, man, just nasty. So
It's really
good stats on that one. All right, let's do a viewer question. This is from Twitter. He asked this question. I said we would go over it on the show, but only if he promised to watch. So if you're watching, leave a
And hit the
comment.
like button.
Yeah, you gotta leave a comment. Okay, when do you take money out of your bankroll? You have to live off of it if you do it full time, right? Steve, why don't you start?
So with our philosophy with the Road to Millions, we don't take money out of the bankroll. The whole point of the bankroll is to keep building it. And as far as living off something, you need to have income coming in from other places, and you have to have some sort of income other than your bankroll, because you take away from that bankroll and it just messes things up. We have a set schedule that we're on right now to try to turn that into $1 million, and it takes time, and it's going to be, it takes a lot of time, but if you pull the money out of that bankroll, you're never going to get there.
Yeah, it's like the reason you don't. Well, one of the many reasons is when you have a losing week, you can't take money out of it as well. That obliterates your bankroll.
It's a great point.
Yeah, so like it's hard enough to win in this industry, but then when you add that you're taking money out of it, that is just it's too much for your bankroll to overcome. We're trying to make 3% a week. And let's say that you make, let's say we make 10% in a week and then you take some of that profit out. Well, you just killed a great week. Like you didn't make 10%. You took money out, so now maybe you're only down to 2%. And you need those big weeks to stay in your bankroll. And we always tell people the percentage doesn't change. The dollar amount will change, but the percentage doesn't change. So if your bankroll is $1,000, our goal is to make 3%, which is $30. If your bankroll is $100,000, the percentage stays the same, but the dollar amount is completely different. If you take away those units that you've built up over the years, it just takes you back like immensely. And I would encourage you to go to your bankroll builder spreadsheet and look at. Actually, I can pull that up here real quick, Steve, because I think this is an important topic. So, if I pull up the Road to Millions bankroll spreadsheet here, this is one we have that we're at for $1,000. So, okay, we're at like 1,539. Let's just say I want to take $200 out. Doesn't sound like much. Okay, I'll take $200 out, but now it's down to 1,339. That takes you back here to where your goal is in column B. It takes you back like 2 months. It just it just takes everything, all the hard work that you've done. You've got to stick with it and build it up. That's why we say it's like a stock portfolio. It's like an investment account. So don't pull money out of the bankroll. You leave it in there. Ours is a 5-year plan. Encourage you to make your own plans, but this is the plan that we're doing. But it's one of the big rules is you just cannot pull the money out. Here's the rules that we set for ourselves. Our number one goal is to make 3% a week. We don't chase losses. No drunk, no sick, no board betting. And number 4, do not pull money out of the bankroll. It's your sacred bankroll. You just got to leave it there. So appreciate the question. It's always good to review some of these tips and questions. So thanks a lot for the question. Leave us a comment. If you got any other questions, leave it in the comment section or hit me up on Twitter. All right, Steve, let's do the survivor picks. You and I are still alive. Leave your survivor pick if you're still alive in the comment section, and I will have a link to the spreadsheet. I'll go with the Rams. I think they pour it on against the Cardinals. I don't think this pass defense is going to be able to slow the Rams down at all. The Rams are coming off. Actually, the offense kind of got a break last week. What, they had the ball 22 minutes against the Eagles. The Eagles just decimated in time of possession. So they're going to be fresh. I think the bottom may have fallen out of the Cardinals last week. They just did not look good. I mean, Jamar Chase did whatever he wanted against them. So have not used the Rams, and I think the Cardinals might be a nice fade moving forward. I can't blame you. I mean, yeah.
Listen, highest spread on the board available to me has done me well, and I'm going to stick with it for now. Bills, I know the defense is banged up, and it's going to catch up with them eventually, but I don't think it's this week against the Giants. I mean, sure, they might keep it a little closer, but the Bills are winning this game. The Giants are in turmoil, And regardless of who plays, who doesn't play, for them right now at this point, I can't see them beating the Bills. So I'll roll with them, and I'm running out of these high-end teams right now. So
Well,
it's
you're
grasping at
right.
straws in a couple of weeks.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, if you use the highest spread, it's always the best teams. So they start
Yeah,
dwindling.
I've used like Bills, Eagles, 49ers, Dolphins, Chiefs, you
Chiefs.
name it. I'm sure a lot of people have, but yeah, I'll
Oh
have to
yeah.
start getting creative soon though.
Yep. So I imagine we'll be seeing the Rams and Bills quite a bit in this week. So yeah, so we got the Survivor picks here. Like I said, guys, leave your picks in there, and I'll get everything updated. So. All right, that is going to do it for the Road to Millions. Don't forget to get our NFL 5% best bet and our college football best bet. Those are up on WagerTalk.com. And we got to do a little celebrating. Hockey 1-0.
That's right.
Right? So that was a really, really nice cash on our hockey play. And those of you that have all access, you're going to be seeing that trend quite a bit. Those picks are going to look very, very similar moving
Yeah, that was a
forward.
great cash.
Moving forward. So let's keep the momentum going. We're up. We're positive units for the week. Let's have a great weekend. We will be back Sunday with your same game parlays, alt lines, anytime touchdowns, and the final player prop numbers before kickoff. Good luck on all your plays, everyone. Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave your comment below. We'll see everyone next time on the Road to Millions.